All right, Thrive Nation, on today's show, we get into part 4 of Bill Belichick. We take a deeper look under the hoodie of the master manager that is the New England Patriots head coach, Bill Belichick. You want to run a successful company? You have to learn how to become a great manager. And that, my friends, is what Bill Belichick is. And that's why he is the most successful NFL football coach of all time.
Some shows don't need a celebrity narrator to introduce the show, but this show does. 2 men, 8 kids, co-created by 2 different women, 13 multi-million-dollar businesses. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Thrive Time Show.
Now, 3, 2, 1, here we go!
Started from the bottom, now we here. Started from the bottom, and we'll show you how to get here. Started from the bottom, now we here. Started from the bottom, now we here. Started from the bottom, now we here. Started from the bottom, now we'll show you how to
Yes, 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 and yes. Thrive Nation, on today's show, we are breaking down part 4 of the Bill Belichick series as we uncover 102 Bill Belichick facts that you did not know, as we also attempt to teach best practice management systems that can change your life and your business. So now we're on to Bill Belichick fun factoid number 51, the Patriot way. Bill Belichick was traded to the Patriots for a first-round draft pick. A lot of people don't know this, but if you go on the show notes, if you go on the show notes, you can click the Fox Sports article, and I'll read it to you. It says the nature of how Bill Belichick came to join the Patriots is very interesting. In fact, he was acquired by the Patriots off of the Jets in the year 2000 in exchange for a first-round draft pick. The fact that New England was so eager to get Belichick that they were willing to trade a first-rounder makes you wonder how in the world they knew he would be such a success for them. Think about this for a second. Mm-hmm. Have you heard of any other coach being traded, Dr. Brink? Have you ever heard this before?
That's actually what I was about to ask you, if that's ever been done before or since, that a coach is part of the trade process. I've never heard of that.
I'm putting a link on the show notes so listeners can read the rest of the article. But I'll tell you why he was traded. He was traded because he's such a good manager. Mm-hmm. And Dr. Breck, your business is rocking. You've got a great team there at drbreck.com. Yeah. But what would happen if you didn't have a good manager present?
Oh, so many things would fall apart very quickly.
Such as?
Well, I mean, just the flow of our office, the scheduling, billing with insurance, getting paid. I mean, all these things are happening so much quicker than they used to, and on a larger scale. And so that snowball in a negative way would build and get worse very quickly.
Jason, I see a lot of business owners that try not to have a manager.
True.
I would say most. Mm-hmm. But if you went into the elephant in the room, and you used to manage all 3 stores, if you went into the elephant in the room store, let's go with downtown, where you have thousands of members, and dozens of employees, what would happen, or what does happen when the manager leaves?
Well, I would say nothing. It's not that nothing happens when they leave. Things typically tend to slow down.
They drift?
Yeah.
Towels don't get folded?
Towels don't get folded
Checklists
or
don't
washed.
get done?
Checklists don't get done.
Why?
Tools don't get cleaned.
Why?
Because you need a manager to help regulate the schedule of the workday. Because inherently people just want to show up, do the bare minimum, and go home. But a manager's there to say, hey, here's your action items, here are your action steps, here's when you have to get it done, and then they walk them through the execution.
So here's a pro tip for you. If you're out there today and you own a business, hire a manager.
Mm-hmm. Especially if you have 6 or more employees.
You got to have a great manager. John D. Rockefeller in the book Titan, it discusses this, but he believed that having a good manager was like the most important skill out there.
Yeah, plus it just helps you. It gives you time to focus on other things.
Right.
What happens though, Breck? What happens if there's somebody out there who has 9 employees or 10 employees and they try to just, skip around the whole manager thing? They go, you know what? I know I need a manager, but I want to save money.
Right.
And by the way, John D. Rockefeller says, the ability to deal with people is as purchasable a commodity as sugar or coffee. And I will pay more for that ability than for any other under the sun. Mm-hmm. Sounds like you should pay a manager pretty well. Dr. Breck, What happens if someone skips on hiring a manager? What happens?
And they want to manage themselves, or they just don't want to do it at all?
They have a business. They got 10 employees or 15 employees, and they choose not to invest in a good manager. Mm-hmm. What happens?
Well, you're definitely limiting yourself. So if you're trying to be that person, and yet you're also trying to, be the entrepreneur, be the owner, in my case, be the clinician, and your hand is to the plow as well as trying to see the 10,000-foot view. you're definitely going to be highly limited on what you can do because you can't wear every hat. And you got to figure out which hats you want to wear, which hats you're best at wearing, and then wear those hats. But you got to remember you can only wear a couple of hats at best. And so a good manager can definitely take 2 or 3 of those hats and wear them well while you focus on the things that make your company money and make your company better and allow it to grow.
This just in, hire a great manager. Bill Belichick fun fact number 52, the Patriot Way. Bill Belichick has built a team around him to help him minimize distractions. Now, Jason, there's an article that appeared in the New York Times called Burj Najarian is a key figure in the Patriots' inner circle.
I see that.
And do you see the article there?
I do.
Can you read it nice and slow, like a pro, so the listeners can digest this glory?
Burj Najarian is Bill Belichick's chief of staff. He's the human on the planet that has spent the most time with Bill Belichick since he became the New England Patriots head coach in 2000. This man has spent more time with Coach Belichick than Tom Brady and Bill Belichick's own family.
Really?
But most people don't know his name. Why? As he politely put, begrudgingly spoke on background in the coffee shop. Wait, what the?
Keep going.
Okay.
You're good.
A short walk from the Patriots Hotel for Super Bowl. What Roman numerals?
You keep going. You're
Okay.
good. You're doing good.
No one recognized the man or how important he was and is the New England success to the New England success. His name is Burj Najarian. By title, he is director of football / head coach administration.
Keep reading.
On Sunday, the Patriots will play in their 5th Super Bowl since the 2001 season.
Think about this for a second. It says here, Najarian's role exemplifies that paranoid mystique. He's the gatekeeper to Belichick, the monitor of the monotone. He is the concierge of the New England Patriots. No question about it. If you want to schedule an interview with Bill Belichick, as I have tried to do multiple times, it is Burj Najarian who will reject you. It is not Bill Belichick.
Right.
Why, Dr. Breck, do you think that the New England Patriots, why do you think Bill Belichick has invested in having a concierge, a person named Burj Najarian who minimizes distractions? How could that possibly help?
Well, I think in Bill Belichick's case, there's a lot of reasons that he could do this, but just having a gatekeeper is huge.
Huge.
I have several calls that are of no value to me every single day.
I bet you I get several calls per hour that are like that.
And, a guy of Bill Belichick's, caliber is going to get 20 times that many.
What I get a lot is people who are offended by the show. Who aren't aware they don't have to listen to it.
Right, that you can change.
They're like, listen to the show, and they're like, I love the show. Yeah. I just don't like how he's always joking around. I don't like his voices.
You can push stop on the podcast.
I like the show. I like everything about the show. I just don't like his voices. Or I don't like his face. I don't like.
I don't like his face on the podcast.
I don't like his face.
I don't
on
like
the podcast.
how conservative it is. I don't want to hear about his religious views. Then get off the show.
Right.
Get off the show. But people want to call and talk about it.
Yep.
And it's usually the poorest people that want to call and talk the longest.
Well, yeah, because they don't care to waste their time. It's not as valuable.
So they're just like, well, I just want you to know there are 17 issues I have with the show. I want to share all 17 of my – I'm calling them my 17 theses. Get out of here.
Your time's valuable. Bill Belichick's time's valuable. And just the savings of his time with those kinds of nonsensical things has got to be huge. But I'm sure Burj Najarian brings far more than that as well, just helping to manage on top of keeping things away. So being that barrier, that filter.
So I'm going to help the listeners out there break through some gaps. We have some problems we have right now. One is my phone is on airplane mode, which it has been on since Friday afternoon. I would encourage you, if you're an owner, keep your phone on airplane mode unless it is essential to what you have planned for the day.
Right.
Keep the phone off. Turn off the push notifications. Quit checking your email. Have a Burj Najarian called self-discipline, where you don't check your email unless you need to.
Yep.
You don't check your phone unless you need to. You turn off the push notifications. You got to do that. The average person, we have entire shows about this, but the average person right now, according to Psychology Today, is interrupted over 90 times per day. The average person, according to Nielsen, spends 11.3 hours per day on their smartphone. It's not a good situation. And it takes the average person 23 minutes to reset mentally after being distracted, according to Fast Company. So just get off that phone. Now, Bill Belichick.
Well, and as a company owner,
Yeah.
you definitely need to have a policy of no cell phones.
No cell phones. Get them out.
It's
Get
just
them out.
ruining
Get
all
'em out.
productivity.
Get them out of your office. Bill Belichick fun factoid number 53. I want to pile on there. According to Forbes, the average American employee now wastes 41% of their day because of the smartphone distractions. 41%. 41%.
Crazy.
Yeah. Bill Belichick, fun factoid number 53, the Patriot way. Bill Belichick is in danger of running out of fingers for Super Bowl rings. This is a dangerous situation.
It's a horrible problem.
Now, if you click the Twitter picture there, Jason, that I have here, this is Bill Belichick at the last Patriots event where they're awarding the rings. Do you see that picture? Breck, you see that? He's got his rings on. You see that Twitter? He's got 8 rings on there, and he's in. It's a dangerous situation.
Yeah.
What happened? I mean, is he going to want to win anymore once he starts putting them on his thumbs?
I mean, he may get tired of it, but I doubt it.
Oh, man, if he ever gets in a fight,
I think
he's good.
Well, they're also going to be able to identify. They're like, oh, those bruises definitely came from Super Bowl rings.
But seriously, the thumb rings are very impractical.
I would, as his biggest fan, you should offer to get him like a nice necklace that he can wear rings around when he runs out of fingers.
That's nice. Well, Bill Belichick, though, he has 2 Super Bowl titles as the defensive coordinator for the Giants and 6 Super Bowl rings as the head coach of the Patriots. So if you're out there today and you have an extra, I don't know, a minute in your schedule, pray that Bill Belichick, when he wins his next Super Bowl, that he doesn't experience like a FOMO, a fear of missing out, that he can't wear the rings like everybody else does on their normal fingers. He's going to have to put it on his thumb. I mean, this is a bad situation.
He should just surgically get his fingers to be made longer because he's going to need more room.
There you go. Finger extensions. This just in. Pro tip. Fun factoid number 54, the Patriot way. More playoff wins than the Cardinals, Browns, and the Lions have in their combined 231 seasons. Bill Belichick has more playoff wins than the Lions, Browns, and Cardinals in their entirety of their franchise. Jason, there are some people that can manage and some people that can't. Mm-hmm. And when you hear people that come to work at Elephant in the Room, I hear it all the time. Kristen, who just started, she said she liked, do you remember what she said, what she liked about working at the Elephant in the Room?
Yeah, it was the very first thing out of her mouth. And you said, what's different? What do you like? And she goes, there's structure here. And then she followed that with, and there's no drama.
Well, and I have to give Leah a shout-out because I saw her on Friday, and she said the same thing, that, she has a mind for business and loves that, there's that structure and there's an opportunity to grow and learn.
Checklists for everything, scripts for everything, processes for everything. That's why we win. We have systems. People say, oh, it's the idea. No, it's not.
No.
There are so many people in Tulsa that have had the idea to open up a membership-based grooming facility, and they've all failed, all of them.
Yep.
Why? Because it's not the idea. It is the execution of the ideas,
right?
Which is why Bill Belichick keeps winning and winning and winning and winning. And
Oh, Billy.
that's right. Billy B keeps winning. Now, Bill Belichick, fun factoid number 55, the Patriot way. He's the first all-time in playoff coaching wins. The first all-time. Now, Jason, why do you think that's important?
I would have to have you educate me on what that means because I am not a football man.
Breck, could you explain what it means to win a playoff game?
Yeah, so there's a regular season, and then there's the postseason. And so in the playoffs are that postseason time. And so it means that his teams have spent more time in those postseasons than any other team because they continue to win those games. So they play more of them each and every year,
Bill Belichick is the NFL's longest tenured active head coach, as well as the first all-time in playoff coaching wins with 31, and third in regular season coaching wins in the NFL with 261. He is one of only 3 NFL coaches to have won 6 NFL titles, and that would include Bill Belichick, George Halas, the founder, owner, and head coach of the National Football League Chicago Bears back in the day, and Curly Lambeau. You ever heard of Lambeau Field? That's Lambeau. From 1919 to 1949, Lambeau was the head coach and general manager of the Packers. Why am I sharing this? Because he knows what he's talking about. And when I read the fun factoids to you or the notable quotables, you should listen.
Yeah.
Because he is an effective manager.
Yeah. So after that explanation, back to answering the question, why is that important? Well, if all time means that you have spent the most time in the highly sought-after playoffs, you must be doing something right, and you must be doing it consistently every single time.
So Bill Belichick has a notable quotable in the locker room. He only has one notable quotable painted in the locker room. There is only one, Juan, painted in the locker room. Mm-hmm. It is from The Art of War. Perhaps someone should write this down.
Shout out to Sun Tzu.
Every battle is won before it is fought.
True.
The Art of War. Every battle is won before it is fought. Well, if Bill Belichick has that notable quotable written down, we probably should write that down.
It must be important.
Yeah, but I see a lot of people, they have a big idea.
Mm-hmm.
I want my company to be successful. Great. I have a new idea. I'm going to sell yoga pants or legal services, or I'm going to sell haircuts to guys. I'm going to be a dentist. Great. The idea does not matter. It's the execution of the idea. The idea doesn't matter. Stop talking about your idea. I see this all the time. People come up to me at the conference. They'll say, I've got this idea. I'm going to start a company that's going to forever revolutionize the way that people learn. Awesome. You got to get started now.
Yeah.
But no, that's what I want you to do. I want to hire your coaching program to think for me. But you got to execute. You got to execute, okay? Bill Belichick, fun fact number 56. The Patriot Way. Bill Belichick, fun fact number 56, the Patriot Way. Practice until you can't get it wrong.
Mm-hmm.
Jason, please read the CNBC article called The Bill Belichick Leadership Rules.
The only sign we have in the locker room is from The Art of War, like you said. Every battle is won before it is fought, says Belichick, who started breaking down films of opposing teams when he was 7 years old.
How old?
7 years old.
How old?
7 years old.
How old?
Siete.
How?
7
Old?
years
Old?
old.
7. Okay.
7.
Back to you.
So yeah, younger than my nephew. And
Wow.
hanging out with his dad, Steve, an assistant coach at Annapolis. You have to know what the opponents can do, what their strengths and weaknesses are, and what to do in every situation, he says. That ability to adapt on a dime is why Belichick says he spends so much time building teamwork, from having the team train with Navy SEALs to organizing trivia nights where, incidentally, all social media is banned.
If Bill Belichick is saying the team needs to get to know each other and we should stay off of social media, we should probably stay off of social media. I don't
Yes.
understand why, like, Tomlin, the coach of the Steelers, can't understand this.
Right.
They've got people on social media in their locker room.
Mm-hmm.
Get off of social media. Breck, you mentioned it earlier, but we got to have our employees do what with their smartphones at work?
Put them in a locker in their purse, put them away. They can't have them.
Is it ethical?
Absolutely.
Oh, man. Okay, Bill Belichick,
Beyond
fun factoid number 57. The Patriot Way, leading the dependables. Bill Belichick often talks about how his favorite ability is dependability. Jason, read the CNBC article called Bill Belichick Leadership Rules to us, please.
Yep. There have been times when I've put too much responsibility on people. They might have been the most talented, or the people you hoped would do the right or best thing, and they didn't come through, Belichick says. Big mistake. When it comes to getting things done, especially critical things, forget the high flyers. You have to go with the person who you have the most confidence in, the most consistent, Belichick says. And if it doesn't work, it doesn't work. But I'm going down with that person.
That's why James White is a star player on our team. Nobody was recruiting James White coming out of college. Nobody was talking about how he's going to be the best offensive player in the National Football League.
Mm-hmm.
But that dude gets it done.
Yep. Right.
Nobody was recruiting Julian Edelman. These are Julian Edelman was a quarterback in college, and he's not 6 feet tall.
Right.
No one was going after these guys. But why would Bill Belichick go after these guys, Dr. Breck?
Well, so often they're the guys who don't get the attention, but they're the ones who are just consistently getting it done. I was recently at a conference, and a friend of mine was being honored as the Doctor of the Year.
Whoa.
And the funny part is they bring him on stage. You know, they say the name, and people are kind of like, who is this? And they're like, as soon as you see this guy on stage, you'll recognize him. But they're saying that from the stage, understanding that he doesn't look for any of the clout. He doesn't look to make his own name known. He just quietly goes about, does his job, and he does it very, very well.
That's how you win.
And so he's winning among other doctors who are winning. And but sometimes those quiet guys are the ones that'll just get it done day in and day out, consistency. And I think those two things, the 2 points together, are do it till you can't get it wrong, and then do it consistently and never getting it wrong. So oftentimes we do role playing, which sounds silly as an adult, but it works. I mean,
does.
You play through the scenario and you have more reps of doing that even before your person is in front of an actual client.
Hey,
They've done it 10 times.
A very specific way to train. I used to do I used to get hired to go into call centers and fix them, and we played hot potato. FAQ hot potato.
Okay.
So what you would do is you take a Nerf football, and you have all the people who are sales reps in the room seated at the boardroom table, and you throw them a football, a little Nerf football, and if they catch it, if you throw it to them, right, you throw the ball, so it keeps everybody alert. You throw it to them, and then when whoever gets the ball, you ask them an FAQ question that's terrible.
Right.
So you're like, I'm a disgruntled customer and I want my money back. They caught the ball. Now you have
Right.
to answer it based upon the scripts. And if you can't do it, right, then you don't get a point. But if you get it right, you get $5.
Yeah.
And we go around for like an hour doing this. No one loses any money, but if you get one wrong, you lose your money. You lose your $5. But anyway, it's a way to get the whole team engaged. You throw a ball to them, you hit them with an FAQ, and then they can throw the ball to any other teammate they want to throw the ball to. So it keeps a good energy going. But you got to role play till you can't get it wrong.
Right.
Now, Bill Belichick fun factoid number 58. The Patriot Way, be the boss or a buffoon. Jason, please read the Bill Belichick article in USA Today, my friend.
Belichick says this principle first came to him when he was just 23, addressing the Colts as a special teams coach. 2 players, one of them a talented starter, spent the beginning of the meeting giggling and chatting. Inside, Belichick recalls, he was seething. I'm not afraid of these guys. It's either them or me. We can't run a team like this. Finally, he let loose. Look, either you shut up or you get out of here. That's it. And it worked. And it was an aha moment that has guided him since. Belichick says, I don't care if they're a star player. I don't care who they are. You have to set the tone.
Okay, so again, he was 23 years old trying to get people to take him seriously. And people, what? What, Jason? People were giggling?
Yep, they were giggling, talking. It's just like that. It's like the peanut gallery conversation that most employees will do if they don't respect their manager.
Now, let's talk about this. Have you ever listened to the Tupac Machiavelli album there, Jason?
Probably.
Have you?
I'd have to. I don't know the albums. I know the tracks.
Okay.
I'd have to go back. My Tupac knowledge is not as good as it used to be.
Oh, my gosh. Well, you, my friend, you need to really dial in here. But the Tupac named his album Machiavelli after a famous Italian philosopher who faked his death as a way to escape his to escape the people who were trying to kill him. That's and the song's really a dark album. It's a very dark album. And it's in the album, all of his albums were produced by Suge Knight or Dre, that kind of thing. This album was produced by Simon. It's attributed to be Simon. And Simon is the man who witnessed Jesus's, basically he witnessed Jesus rising again. Okay, he witnessed. And so people, remember, he wrote the album and released it before he died.
Right.
And it was produced by Simon.
Which was a big part of why people think he's still alive.
Right, because so many people wanted to kill him. And this album, I mean, just a little sneak peek. It's a really dark album. It's really heavy.
Machiavellianist,
Whoa.
Illuminati, all through your body. The blows like a 12-gauge shot.
It's a really dark album called Machiavelli. Well, Machiavelli, if you read his book, The Prince, which I have read, I love this book. And people are like, you're shady. That's just a proof. I looked at your bookshelf. I saw Machiavelli, and that means you're shady. Well, let me read you the notable quotable before we get all outraged here, okay? It says, it is much safer to be feared than loved because love is preserved by the link of obligation, which, owing to the baseness of men, is broken at every opportunity for their advantage. But fear preserves you by a dread of punishment, which never fails. So I have found, in the Bible, it talks about the fear of God.
Beginning of all knowledge.
Talk to me about the fear of God. I mean, Breck, you're a Christian, are you not?
I am.
Do you believe in hell?
I do.
Okay. But if there wasn't hell, do you think that most people who are Christians would always take the high road?
No.
And even knowing that there is hell, I mean, I still think a lot of times we mess up, because we're not perfect.
Right.
But Isaiah 11, chapter 11, verses 1 through 3 reads, the Spirit of the Lord shall rest upon him, a spirit of wisdom and of understanding, a spirit of counsel and of strength, a spirit of knowledge and of fear of the Lord. And his delight shall be the fear of the Lord. Fear. People say this. This is what people say to me all the time. They say, Clay, I don't like your religion. I said, that's fine. They say, I don't like it because religion is designed to control people. You're right. And the biggest problem people have is a lack of self-control. So if you can use a religion to control yourself, yay you. But I find people that don't have boundaries with, what they eat, what they drink, what they say, what they smoke, what they do, what they think. If you don't have any rules and you just run around in the gray area of life, pretty soon you're watching Shades of Grey for the 47th time that month, and you end up, seriously.
I told you that in confidence.
Well, I'm just saying, Jason, you know what I'm talking about. People that live without any kind of boundaries, what happens?
they snowball. So like
Snowball.
I or not snowball. Well, I guess they snowball in a bad way. It starts small with one little bad decision, and then by the time that they get done, I mean, it's massive. But like, as opposed to you guys are very devout men, so you are very successful, very structured. I am not, however, because I don't look to a higher power, I do have to have rules in place. Otherwise, I will fail.
Well, let's break down a power that's not a religious power. The power of kale. I've seen you just will yourself before the wedding. You were like, I'm going to lose 7,000 pounds. And you basically just ate what?
I did chicken and vegetables or steak and vegetables.
And that was a rule. Because sugar causes insulin. Dr. Breck, explain what happens with sugar.
So you get a high insulin spike, which it doesn't allow your energy that you're bringing in, the food, the sugar, to be utilized readily. It actually puts it into storage as fat.
No, that's what causes weight gain, right? Yep. So if you have meat and vegetables, basically if you don't eat wheat, sweets, or alcohol, you'll lose weight as long as you're having meat and vegetables.
Telling people that for years.
It's a rule, though.
Yeah.
It's a rule. That's the rule.
Right.
But it's not a religious thing, but it's a rule. Now let's break down a religious rule from the Bible. Washing your hands. Old Testament talks about washing your hands. Jason, are you familiar with the Black Plague?
That was my nickname in high school.
What? Oh, nice.
Bringing a lot of death with you.
I am familiar with it. The Dark Ages plague.
Well, there was a famous plague that destroyed Europe, and the only population group not affected by it was the Jewish people. Why? They're washing their hands all the time.
Eating kosher food.
Eating kosher food.
Not those rats.
So I want to make sure everybody out there who gets this idea, there are rules in the Bible. There are rules, and if you implement the rules, another example. Let's give you a religious rule, but you could also use it in a non-religious sense. The Bible instructs us to only have sex with the person you're married to.
Right.
Now, Breck, this is a crazy deal. I've been married for almost 19 years, and I don't have any STDs right now.
You don't?
I hate to make this show bromantic, but the other day I was thinking, I'm like, how is this possible? How do I not have any STDs? Could it be that I only have sex with my wife?
How is it you don't have any illegitimate children?
Could it be that I only have sex with my wife? Now, some would say, are you judging me right now if I'm having sex with someone that I'm not married to? I would just say the chances of you having a baby you didn't plan on is higher when you're having sex before you're married, and the probability of you staying married to somebody who you only married because you had a baby with them is very low.
True.
And it turns out to be quite an issue. This just in. Bill Belichick, fun factoid number 59, the Patriot Way. Remember that you are managing people. CNBC writes, there are a lot of things that affect what happens on the field that occur off the field, Bill Belichick says. Players have wives and girlfriends, and they all have babies. And they have personal situations. They have parents that are sick. All of it runs together. The more you and the organization can help take care of the personal situations, the smoother the ship runs on the football end. Dr. Breck, have you noticed that most of the problems in a business are related to people having personal problems outside of work? Have you noticed this?
Yes. Yeah, we talk about this a fair amount. It's about focus. And so, you've got to be able to put your own personal issues aside and focus, because in my business, we are here for the patient. We're here to focus on their issues, not our own issues. And so we can't be worried about our issues while at work.
I try to hire people that don't have issues, therefore we don't deal with issues.
Even better.
But when you hire people with issues, what happens, Jason? Not an elephant in the room,
So
but in
far,
other
I've found
businesses.
if you hire humans, you hire issues.
Well, if you hire somebody with, let's say, undiagnosed or undisclosed issues, those issues will end up coming into the workplace. They will become your issues, even though you didn't ask for them.
So that's why Bill Belichick hires people with high character. Because when you hire someone with a lot of skill but low character, craziness happens all day, every day. That's why Bill Belichick gave Antonio Brown a chance.
Right.
And he was on the team for a week. Antonio Brown just could not stay off of social media. He couldn't.
He had enough issues that it showed up within
and
the week.
they let him try. I mean, they gave him a week and they cut him. I mean, he was on the team for a week.
I'm not sure if he made it 7 days.
He might have made it 6 days.
I think it was like 5 or 6 days.
Unbelievable. All right. Now, Bill Belichick fun factoid number 60. Again, what do you do with this information? Hire people with character. Hire character, then train skill. Bill Belichick fun factoid number 60. The Patriot Way. Brady and Belichick together are rewriting the Super Bowl record books. They have the most games played, 9. The most wins, 6. Most passing touchdowns, 18. Most passing yards, 2,838. More than the next two combined. Most passing yards in a game, 505. Oldest quarterback in the Super Bowl to win, 41.
Mm-hmm.
Really?
Most 300-yard passing games, 4. Most passes without interception, 48. Most pass completions, career, 256, 65.3% completion percentage. Most passes completed in a game, 43. He also holds the record for the second and fourth most as well. So what am I
He's got to
saying?
keep beating himself because he can't find competition.
But Bill Belichick went out there and went after Tom Brady when no one else wanted him.
Right.
Nobody was wanting Tom
What
Brady.
was his draft pick?
I think it was the
pretty high.
199th draft pick, I believe.
He was, yeah.
Yeah, that's actually the next fun fact.
Okay, he's the 199th drafted overall. And why am I saying this? I'm saying when you hire people with good character, you can teach them skills and then ride with those people.
Right.
Stick with them. Be loyal to people that are loyal to you. Stick with people. Don't fire people who are doing a good job. Don't screw people who are doing a good job. We talk a lot about bad employees because 85% of employees lie on resumes, according to Inc., or 75% of employees steal, according to the U.S. Chamber. However, there's a lot of bad bosses.
True.
And you don't want to be a bad boss, so stick
No.
with the people that got you there. Now, Bill Belichick, fun factoid number...
So that dance with who you brung.
61. The Patriot Way. Bill Belichick coached the Bill Belichick has successfully coached the 199th draft pick of the year in the year 2000 to become one of the best quarterbacks of all time. That would be Tom Brady.
Yeah.
Breck, what does that speak to when Bill Belichick can get a lot of lower draft picks and undrafted guys and coach them to be successful? Players that nobody else wants. What does that speak to?
Well, this is actually one of the things I love about Bill Belichick the most is seeing the talent and coaching it up. And so he gets far more value for these picks. I know it's terrible to – I've always thought it's terrible to talk about people this way because, I mean, you get a first-round draft pick, you pay more money for them, you get you get a certain commodity in the idea of these drafts. But so when you are in a lower round, you bring less value supposedly to the team. But Bill Belichick has found that he can find the right quality people, and I don't know what his exact process is of scouting this talent, but he's done it repeatedly and consistently, and he finds the right talent, the dependable players that want it, that are hungry for it, that have the skill sets that he needs in those positions, and then he coaches them up to be better than they would be on their own. And I was told that Tom Brady told Bill Belichick that he made the best decision of his life when he did draft him, but I feel like he must have really known he was going to back up that with a whole lot of hard work.
Well, what I want to do here, Jason, is I would like for you to explain the hiring process that we use ourselves and that we would teach to all of our clients and all the people who attend our workshops. This is the process that we teach. Some have begun to call my businesses and my systems a cult. And I want to clarify, it's not a cult, it's a colony. All right, because it's not a cult. But Jason, why do some people call our systems and processes a cult?
Because it's different in the sense that it's not the typical way that most people do it. The whole gray HR, I wanted to swear right there, but I can't because it's, the show's for the children. But no,
Right.
it's we do it differently and it's successful. We also repeat the same process. So a lot of times when people see something that's successful that you repeat, they're like, well, that's weird. You gotta be subscribed to some sort of Kool-Aid to be following that. But
So walk the listeners through our process that we do every single week. And it really doesn't start Thursday night at 6. It starts on Monday when Ben does the job post. But we'll walk our listeners through the process.
Yep. So we do the job post. We have exciting applicants that apply. We go through and we invite all of them to a group interview, which is Thursday.
Yep.
And Thursday promptly at 6, we get started and you go over compensation, communication, expectations. So people know how much they're getting paid. They know exactly what the path to growth is there. And then also they know exactly what you expect of them. You're not trying to sell yourself. You're saying, hey, here are our processes. This is how we do it. Do you guys have any questions? Then you look for people who are engaged, people who ask really good questions, because at that point, it doesn't matter if 80 people show up and they have their resumes. Again, 85% of those people lied. So let's say, 15% of the people in that room of 80 are going to be honest.
How do I know? Like, because you now have seen the group interview enough where you would know who I'm going to hire.
Yeah.
How do you know who I'm going to hire, and how do I know who I'm going to hire? When I'm looking at like 80 people, like we had a group interview 2 weeks ago. Last week we had like 20 people. But 2 weeks ago, we had over 80 people show up. 80.
Yeah.
How can you tell who I'm going to hire?
I can tell who you're going to hire. In my opinion, I can tell who you're going to hire in the same sense that you know who you are, because I have worked with everybody that, ironically, I've worked with everybody that you've hired since hiring me on, and everybody has the exact same characteristics. And that characteristic is, can you learn something new? Can you ask questions? Can you ask for help if you need it? Can you hit a deadline? Can you show up on time? Can you show up early even? But
and have you made friends with some of the people at work?
I have.
Who are some of your work friends you made?
And they may completely disagree.
Okay, sure. But, we'll force the issue. We'll force the
unilateral friendship.
So there is Andrew and Ben are great examples because, they're really good examples of people to be friends with.
Yeah.
Because I have never once had either one of them tell me, God, Jason, I had the craziest weekend. I had all this baby mama drama, and I stayed up until 3 and got blackout drunk and was late to work. No, they're always consistent. They stay within their schedules. They are very, very good examples of husband material. They love their wives. They take very good care of their families. But they're also they're the same. They get to work before everybody, like 4:30 every single day. They stay late. They never miss a deadline.
Does it make it a good place to work from your perspective when you work with people that are good people? Does it matter?
Yeah, there are days where I've actually woken up with strep throat, but I was excited to go to work. Like I could have stayed home and been in pain and then been mopey, but looking forward to going to work actually helped me feel better.
I had a person that came to work on Friday. Funny story. She's up there reading a book. And I said,
been to that last Saturday.
What are you doing? They go, I just love the atmosphere. I love the music, the ambiance, the decor, the lighting, the smells, the sounds, the people. And I don't like my own house. This is a single person. I don't like my own apartment. I don't like the people that live around me. I don't like the ambiance of a coffee shop. Yeah. So probably for the same reasons, you'd go to Starbucks. I'm here.
Yeah.
I see this all the time.
Can I be weird with you for a second?
Yeah, sure. Go for it.
If we had an unlimited amount of ingredients that we make our products with, you'd probably see me at Thrive more than Jonathan. I would never leave. I like being up there in the product room and just enveloped, because if I go home, it's like, okay, if I'm not doing action items and if I'm not doing whatever, like my wife is going to be at work from 10:45 today until 8 p.m.
So we're not talking about avoiding your spouse. We're saying when your wife gets home, you want to be with her. But until that time.
Exactly, yeah. Like today, God, I wish we had product stuff so bad, because she's going to be gone for like 12 hours. Yeah. I would spend the entire day up there.
So much done.
I know. But it's because I look forward to it. I've never had a job where I'm like, you know what?
And you probably never have one again. I mean this because I have had hundreds of people who used to work for me go on somewhere, and they'll always call me. And my move is, by the way, I usually never rehire people, because I feel like you've already made your decision. But if I never take on clients that used to be a client. I never take a client back. I don't do that. But people that have left, a lot of people will leave, and they'll reach out to me and go, hey, can I come back? And I'll go, why? And they go, well, I thought it would be better working at this other job. And, I got paid a little more at this other job. But I don't like my boss. There's no ongoing education. And more importantly, my coworkers are crazy. So people say to me all the time, God, you're so mean, Clay. You fire people that are bad at their job. Don't you ever think about their families? Yeah, I think about the families of our team,
Right.
and I don't want my employees coming to a work environment where they have a crazy person working there. One person can make it an entirely dramatic office environment.
Absolutely. Well, and I mean, so many employees desire that nice environment to work in, to be with other quality employees. I mean, the people you work with do make so much of your experience in your workplace.
Now, Jason, when we do our next show about Bill Belichick, we're going to be covering Fun Factoids number 61 through I don't know how many, but we have 102 we're going to cover. We have 102 Bill Belichick
We're not running
Fun
out anytime
Factoids.
soon.
And we have right now, I think we have, let's see here, we have 60 or 75 notable quotables. So 102 fun facts, 75 notable quotables, over 35 pages of notes. And I want to make sure listeners know this. I'm on a quest to rank number 1 in the world when you type in the phrase Bill Belichick. Now, currently, if you type in Burj Najarian, his personal assistant, I come up top. Oh, yes, I do. And if you type in Bill Belichick's number 1 fan with the number sign, I come up top. But soon, I shall be top in Google for the phrase Bill Belichick because Bill Belichick has told me no 3 times as it relates to being on a show. Burj, very in a nice way, by the way. Classy. They've done it in a nice way.
Burj is a very nice guy.
Yes. But Bill Belichick, how did he get his job, Jason? How did Bill Belichick get his first coaching job? And if you weren't here for that recording, that's fine. But how do you do it?
No, I was because I remember in today's money he would have made 23 cents an hour.
Yes.
But
he hand wrote 250 letters and mailed them to all the colleges in the United States, all the Division I colleges, and they all said no. So he offered to work for free.
Yep.
And he got his first job coaching for what equated to 25 cents an hour, working for the Colts as like a film guy.
Yeah. Well, it was film. He had to drive the coaches around, do personal errands.
A lot of people would. He said, as long as I get food and shelter, I'm in.
Yep.
And I have the same passion, Billy. I know you're listening right now. The same passion that Bill has for coaching, I have that same passion for interviewing Bill Belichick. And so I'm gonna come up top and Google. One day, Bill Belichick is gonna Google his name, and when he does, he'll find me and he'll go, "This guy is the number 1 fan." I mean, what kind of
coming up for my name?
Well, this right now, so far, this will be. We're approaching 20 hours of shows devoted just to this topic of how to become a great manager. And Bill, I'm telling you, you're the best manager. And the only criticism I have is so far, you have been our worst Thrive Time show guest because you don't talk a lot. And you've never agreed to be on the show.
Quiet.
But at any moment, the same feeling that the Colts had, they once felt like, oh gosh, let's give him a shot. He seems sincere. He keeps asking. Bill, you're going to have the same thing happen. It's gonna happen to you, Bill. Bill, listen. I know we're talking one-on-one right now. I was reading one of the articles about you, as I obsessively do, and I found out that you read the headlines about what the other teams say to the media a lot as a game plan strategy, although you pretend like you don't, I think. So you're listening to this right now, and that part of you that where your soul is, and then next to that where your football is, your soul and your football are connected, there's a little opening. It's a little hole in the soul. And you need to fill it with clay. You need to fill it with it's a malleable substance. You just put it in there and you just fill it up and you're going to end up you're going to say yes, and you're not going to regret it because the Colts, remember, they felt bad. They're like, "Oh gosh, he keeps applying. He's willing to work for free." Bill, I'm willing to do the interview for free. I'm not going to charge you to interview you, Bill. Bill, I'm not going to charge. And you right now, Bill, just come to Butthead. Come to Butthead. Come to me, Bill. Bill, just email me, founder@thrive15.com. Just fire it off, Bill. Bill, fire it off. Bill, you want my cell phone number, Bill? Bill, do you want my cell phone number? I'll give you my cell phone number. Just email me, founder@thrive15.com.
Oh, Billy.
All right, now we're going to end the show with a boom. Here we go. 3, 2, 1, boom. Stop what you're doing and think about this for a second. What would happen if your company was suddenly able to generate exponentially more quality sales leads? That would be incredible. What would happen if your company came up at the top or near the top of the Google search engine results? Well, I would just feel overwhelmed with all that business. How many thousands of dollars in lost sales or millions of dollars in lost sales are you missing out on simply because your potential customers can't find you when they go online to search for the products and services that you offer? I refuse to think that thought because I don't want any more business. Unless you are a dirty communist that hates money, my new book, Search Engine Domination, will help you grow your business. In my new book, Search Engine Domination, we will teach you the specific steps that you need to take to dominate the search engine results. What do you mean by dominate? You see, in my new book, Search Engine Domination, we will teach you the specific steps that you need to take to dominate search engine results. Download your free ebook copy today at thebestseobook.com. I repeat, that's thebestseobook.com.
My name is Amy Baltimore, and I am a CPA in Covington, Tennessee. I've been working with the Thrive team now for about a year. One of the first things that they did was to update my website and my search engine optimization. I prior had a website, but I was not being found on Google, and all of my new business was coming through referrals from friends, family, etc. And right away I started to see results. People were calling and coming in saying that they found me on Google. They just Googled CPA near me, and there I was at the top of the page. And so it's been a great help to my business.
Again, you can download your free ebook copy today at thebestseobook.com.
Hey, this is Dustin Huff. I'm with Keystone Harbor Marina. We joined Thrive back in January and have been working with these guys for about 7 months. During that time period, we have moved up our Google rank through reviews and SEO processes that we've compiled through these guys. Our leads have gone from about 4 a week to now 165 a week. So the process works. I will tell you from experience, once you begin, you have to stay with it. As long as you continually do this week in and week out, month in and month out, you'll continually grow.
The system works, but nothing works unless you do. You've got to take some action. Download the ebook for free today at thebestseobook.com.
Hello, my name is Daniel with Daniel's Heating and Air here in Amarillo, Texas. The way Google has affected my business, we have got a lot of calls from Google. Right now it's July and we've had the best month ever. And it took us about 8 to 10 months to get on top of Google, and I'm glad we did.
Remember, nothing works unless you do. You have to go to thebestseobook.com today. Download the ebook for free. Just download that ebook for free, and you'll be off to the races.
Hi, my name is Christina Nemus. I'm the owner and operator of Angel's Touch Auto Body and Detailing in Bourne, Massachusetts. We have been working with Thrive and their coaching for, say, 8 to 9 months, and it took us about 6 months, 5 to 6 months to get on the top of Google, and with their help with the website and marketing, and the SEO and retargeting ads with Google, and it has been phenomenal. We just have light and day business coming in, phone calls coming in, walk-ins, referrals. It's just through the roof, and we couldn't be happier. At the moment, we are up 50% this year from the previous year, and not only is that part of our own hard work and diligence, but also with the help of Thrive and what they've done for us and getting us on the top of Google and, you know, all their knowledge and coaching. And yeah, so super grateful, super pumped to see what the future holds for all of us. Thank you.
This is your year to thrive. Success you will find. Today is your day, and now is your time.
Lazy hands make for poverty, but diligent hands bring wealth. Proverbs 10:4. I'm here to tell you, you can do it if you can just motivate yourself. 12 the masses had to cut off a few, so on the daily you and I could rendezvous. A misshapen tree that I had to prune. I had to make cuts to be here daily at noon. So like a tidal wave of knowledge monsoon, I could rain on the parades of those who doubt in you. Are you the next Rockefeller or the next guru, or the next Dr. King who's changing the rules? Walls are in your way, will you run right through? Like a running back, fourth the one, it's up to you. I remember my days back in the dorm room, tuned to the gloom like the temple of doom. Overwhelmed with the doubts that try to consume my hope for the future that I could pursue. But from the mountaintop now I can conclude that you have what it takes if you want the view to.
This is your year to thrive. Success you will find. Today is your day, and now is your time. It's your year to thrive. Success you will find. Today is your day, and now is your time.
This moment is profound cause you're above the ground. Your road might have been rough, but what you got now is now. We're here to pick you up and to even show you how, but you gotta be resourceful with that old plow. Started from the bottom, but I worked my way up, cause by 4 a.m. I've always been prayed up. Rise and grind as your time, don't dare let up. You gotta get it, don't quit it till your seeds grow up.
This is your year to thrive.
Come on.
Success you will find.
Yes.
Today is your day,
Somebody say,
and now is your time.
It's your time.
It's your year to thrive.
Come on.
Success you will will find. Today is your day, and now is your time.
It's your time.
Yeah,
We
yeah.
all have a wish and we all want to win, but we cannot begin without self-discipline. If you fall on your face, get yourself up again. Attach yourself to goals, not fail with the friends. When the storms get rough and it's scatter and leave, you only be there with yourself and what you believe. We believe in you, but not as much as God does. If you're going through hell, He's got nothing but love. Apply what you learn, increase what you earn, and in due time you have money to burn.
Apply what you learn, increase what you burn, and in due time you got money to burn.
Sing it.
Apply what you learn, increase what you burn, in due time you got money to burn.
Sing it.
Apply what you learn,
Sing it.
increase what you burn.
Yes.
In due time you got money to
With this
burn.
miracle,
Yeah.
I look to shout down the doubters, kill the weeds that be killing your dream flowers, empower you to devour all the obstacles that make your sweet dreams sour. As for me, I used to stutter, but now I'm on the microphone smooth like butter. If I can do it, I know you can too, but you must stick to it like postage do. And while Merton's on the chorus, singing what he sings, I encourage you to dream big dreams.
Today is your day.
Today's your day.
And now is your time.
It's your time.
This is your year to thrive.
Sing it, sing it.
Success you will find. Today is your day.
It's your day.
And now is your time.
It's your time.
Today is your day.
Come on.
And now is your time.
Sing it, Martin.
Today is your day. Now is your time.
I realize I can't sing like that, but I can talk and play the woodblock. Okay. If you guys need me, I'll just be over here.